Hey guys, SuperCoach God here, and today's video is cheap premiums, not cheap, just premiums we need. Premiums we need before the end of the year. So, firstly, if you're not subscribed, that is 72.8% of you, so chuck a sub, it really helps me. And we're going for the 1,000 subscribers, and we're looking like we're going to get there before the end of the season, so make that happen. Our goal is to get 1,000 before the end of the season. Okay, let's have a look at premiums we need before the end of the season. So some people might have completed their midfield, some people might have completed their back line and forward line, but we're going to go over all of them, and we're going to start with the defenders. So, firstly, Sicily. Do you need Sicily? I think you do. I think we need Sicily before the end of the year. The bloke is D1. So George was right at the start of the season. He predicted James Sicily would be D1, and currently he is. I don't think he's got the most points, but he's obviously copped a week. And he's going to have the bye next week. But he will be D1, I think, or close to it. So I think he's a must-have. Tom Stewart's probably another one you probably need to get in. Sicily's not D1. These two are D1 and D2, and they're both must-haves. If you don't have them already, you need to get Dawson in this week, and you need to get Dacos in this week. Sicily is third up in that ranking, and then I'd probably put Stewart next. So Stewart is bloody destroying everyone in his tracks. If we have a look at his a 3-round average of 118, so he's got the 91, but then he got that 138 and 127, so he's been playing really good footy. Is Caleb Daniel a must-have? No, I don't think so. I don't know if he can keep this type of stuff up. Like, I know he's got the 3-round average of like 143, but unless you think he can actually keep it up, I wouldn't go near him. Sam Doherty. So, do I think he's a good pick? Yeah, I think he's becoming more likely as a good pick. I mean, he's nearly 600k now, so I probably wouldn't go near him now, but over the last few weeks, he's really proved, since he's come back, he's really proved that he's back at his old form. So, I don't know. What's his 5-round? How many games has he been back for? 6. So his 5-round is 112 and a 106. So like a 111 is his 6-round average. So, would you go near him? I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but just after what he did at the start of the season, you'd want to be sure about it. Dan Houston. So Dan Houston's having a really good last 5 weeks, really. 111 5-round average, 118 3-round average. Is he a must-have? Probably not. I don't think so, anyway. But he's pushing his case pretty hard. Then we got Darcy Moore. So Darcy Moore, 558k. I wouldn't go near it, intercepting tall defender, because they can have their off days, and yeah, I wouldn't go near him. Jack Steele, so I think he's an option at 530k. You can definitely bring him in this week. He might cop the Ryan Clark tag, but he should be right for the rest of the year, I think. I think he needed the bye to just reset, and he'll be all right. Luke Ryan. So Luke Ryan's got an 86.7 3-round average and a 5-round average of 99. I think Freo have changed their game plan, and now they're winning games, so they're going to stick to it. And it doesn't involve as much of Luke Ryan as their previous game plan did. So I probably wouldn't go, and it's more in their forward half now. I probably wouldn't go Luke Ryan unless he gets cheap and there looks to be upside to him. I'd just steer clear for now. Mason Redmond. So Mason Redmond's I probably wouldn't go anywhere near Mason Redman. He's got a 95.5 average. He just has these down games, but he can also have like 150s, so it's a bit ridiculous. But he can have like a 40 as well, so it's whatever you like with him. It's a yo-yo, so you wouldn't get him for leagues, that's for sure. Bailey Dales. So Bailey Dales, 520. I'm really liking his game now. I should have picked him up when I thought about it. I think I thought about picking him up after 87 or something. 141, 108, 116. Like, this is a player that could have broken you into, like, would have made you rise the ranks instantly. He's only in 3.2% of teams, so something to think about if you want to bring him in. I actually might prefer him over Sinclair now. I probably do. And then Jake Lloyd. So Jake Lloyd's averaging more than Sinclair by, 2.2. But I probably, I don't mind the pick. I've just never been a hot Jake Lloyd man. So I'm not sure. The stats are there to prove that if he averages 1 at 2.5, your year should be fine at 520k. Next we got Jack Siebel. So Jack Siebel's like, you're definitely not bringing him in, that's for sure. But do you trade him out? Now, I am probably going to trade him out unless I hear about an injury or something throughout the week. But he's got to go, I think, for me. Hayden Young. So he's averaging 93 at 500k. Would not go near this bloke, and that's all I'm going to say about him. I just wouldn't go near him. The only positive is he doesn't have any buys left, so you could get him in. That's the only reason you get him in. Rioli, wouldn't get him in either. I think that's probably enough. So the must-haves are Sicily, Stewart, Dacos, Dawson. And then your other two can be whoever you like. At the moment for me, it's Sheasel and Sinclair, but I'll talk on Sheasel quickly. So Sheasel probably you hold, I would have thought, in my eyes, because he's still like 440k. So I think we'll hit form sooner rather than later. Okay, midfielders. So Bont, he's probably a must-have, you would have had to say. He's a dominant man. Probably hasn't had the best 3-round average or 5-round average, but he's playing really good footy regardless, and he's about to have just a massive game again. So yeah, I'd wait to bring him in because I think he's got a pretty high break even from memory. Break even to 147. I'd wait till after his bye to get him in, is my view. But yeah, Clayton Oliver, so he's coming back this week. I wouldn't get him in just yet. He's got a 145 break even, so you wouldn't get him in this week. I wouldn't have thought. Maybe the week after, or just wait till after his bye, and then you can get him in at probably a nice price if he plays this week. Zachy Butters. So Zachy Butters, a 110 average now at 660k. He would have been a great starting pick. If you started this bloke, congratulations. Like, it's a great feeling when you pick a player like this. He does have the 174 break even. But I think, like, he won't go down that much. Like, he's getting 104, 105s. Like, he shouldn't go down too much. This week he probably will, but yeah. Christian Petrarca. So Petrarca's 656k, 120 average, and a 128 3-round, 135 round. So he's been actually dominating. His worst score in the last 6 weeks is 103. And if this was added to his thing, it would be like a 135 average. So 5-round average, 6-round average. So would I bring him in? Probably not at his price. I'd probably just wait till he drops down a bit, which isn't this week. But it'll be soon. He'll drop a stinker sooner rather than later. I will probably be able to bring him in. Is he a must-have? Probably not. And by the way, Butters is a forward player and midfielder, so he's got the DPP. Zachy Merritt, Merritt, he's 624k. I don't think he's a must-have. I don't think you need to bring him in this week. He's expensive, but that game he had on the weekend, 78 at quarter time or 80 or whatever the hell it was, is just amazing. It's very impressive. So if you want to get him, I would probably wouldn't get him this week. He's got Carlton, so you'd probably want to wait till after his bye, which is the round 14 bye. So I'd just wait. Tim Taranto is dominating in the forward line. 5 round of 125. And yeah, he had it. These scores aren't even in the 5 round average. So if you were looking at a 7 round average, it'd be massive. But yeah, he gets his 145s every so often, and then gets these 111s, 105s, and it's a good thing. It's a great thing. Rory Laird. So I think you can bring Rory Laird in this week. He's got a 3 round of 124. So his break even is 130. So he might drop a little. I just think we'll see him around this mark all year, unless he has a couple of massive games. I'm trying to figure out a way to pick him up, and I'll probably pick him up after his bye. But for now, he'll have to not be in my team. Sarong, he's not a must-have, but he'd be great to have for the next 3 weeks. Only because he's already at the bye, and when he plays for that round 14 and 15 bye, so he could be one to get in this week, or you could actually get him next week. He's on the 127 break even. Just maybe you could get him like 5k cheaper. Could be worth. Libba. Now this bloke's a gun. He had one bad score, but he's gone back to his 122s. That was his lowest score of the year, and it's an 80. Next is 187 and 100, then 101. So he's had 2 scores under 100. He's playing great footy. He's got a 116 average. I am heavy on this man and might get him in after his bye. I don't know. There's a lot of premiums I'm looking at. I just need to weigh up which ones I need the most. Jack McRae, probably, I don't really want to go near him at 600k, just because he's got a lot of forward time still. I mean, yeah, I probably just wouldn't go near him now. I mean, last week it was all right. He went up 30k, and now he's probably gone. You probably don't want to get him. Errol Goulden's had the bye, so he's going to be great to have through the next 3 weeks. He's averaging 105.8 with a 47 score and a couple of 80s. So yeah, he's got 2 156s in a row. Like he's absolutely gunning it. 5 round of 124. He's very good for SuperCoach. Don't know what his fantasy scores are like, but I'm sure it's heavy SuperCoach ratio. And then Matt Rao. So Matt Rao, you don't bring him in this week. We won't talk about players that have the bye. Andy Brayshaw. He's got a 103 average. I probably wouldn't bring him in this week. You could if you're looking for a cheaper option in the midfield. Connor Rosie, his forward line. Yeah. And Lachie Neale, bring him in this week. He's a great option for this week. Just had the bye and he's done. Rucks. So the ruck must-haves. I'm going to go through this quickly. Marshall is not a must-have. English is a must-have. Witts is not a must-have. So you can go between these 2, I think. And then Breeks. Oh my God, where's this bloke? I don't even want to look at him. Oh, anyway, we survive. Forwards. So Zach Butters we talked about. Josh Dunkley's definitely a must-have. You've got to get him in at some point if you don't have him already. 70% of the comp have him. Tim Taranto's a must-have. Errol Goulden's a must-have, I think. And Connor Rozee, I wouldn't call him a must-have, but he's been playing really good footy recently. So definitely think about getting him into your team. Zeba we've talked about. Shea Bolton's not a must-have, but he is playing really well. So keep an eye on it. He did get a 77, so he'll drop down a bit in cash now. 132 break even. Stephen Kinley is not a must-have. I regret picking this man. Not really anyone. Bailey Smith's not. I'm not going to talk on key forwards because I don't pick him. Yeah, it's about it. And Darcy Cameron, just wait and see how he goes this week, I guess. He's playing D, so he probably will score low. Dusty, not an option. And yeah, so that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Just a quick update. These are my trades, so yeah. And hope you all have a good one. Cheers.